You're listening to Real Estate and Bourbon. Whether you like it neat or on the rocks, you're in the right place. And now your host, Dawn Roy.
Hey there, my friends. It's time for another episode of Real Estate and Bourbon.
Hey, kids.
With my friend, Susan Morris.
It's like I'm a staple.
You are a staple. You've just become part of the fam.
It's like a baby back ribs.
Well,
It's like
my
they're
baby back.
They're back.
Yeah, they're back.
I can tell you right now.
It's like the McRib sandwich.
Right, that's what I meant. That's what I meant.
Except no one's happy when that returns.
If we're starting off
never
like this,
looks like the picture.
This is going to be a crazy one.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now.
Yeah.
And for a Tuesday, or are we Wednesday? We're Tuesday. We're Wednesday. What day are we?
Tuesday.
No clue.
No clue.
Tuesday.
It's my brother's birthday.
Oh, happy
birthday, my sweet precious. He's going to come down. We're going to go out to McCormick's Whiskey and have a little fun tonight.
There you go.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's going to be wonderful.
I like it. Happy birthday, Chris.
Yeah, he's so precious.
I love it.
I'm in love with him.
Do you guys appreciate the text messages and gifts that I send you?
Well, I mean, they're
Yeah.
a little out there sometimes, but
I do.
I like to make it where it's like, what? Okay, I get it.
yeah,
I like obscure, like,
Right.
was this meant for us?
Yeah, right.
Oh,
We're like,
I get
yeah.
it now.
And then we all start sending the ha emojis.
So you said GIF.
GIF. I always go back and forth. It's a gift or a gift.
Well, I'm gonna just throw this out there.
Okay.
I don't really think it can be a GIF.
Right. Because
Well, Jif peanut butter. Like, is it a GIF or like Jif peanut butter is Jif? So is it a GIF or is it a GIF? Because it's spelled with a G, yeah?
yes.
So it would be a GIF. And not a gift, but a GIF.
A
GIF.
gift.
A
I
gift.
got you a GIF.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there it is, friends. That is the kind of quality information you get from this podcast. If you're not subscribed, if you're not listening, what are you doing?
So one day we'll discuss, is it buck naked or butt naked?
It depends on where you are from. And how many teeth you have.
Either way, naked is okay in my world.
Is it naked or naked?
Naked.
Yes, totally
It's
naked.
definitely naked.
And it's aunt, not aunt.
Oh, it's aunt.
Oh.
Because I'm a
it's
Carolinian. It's aunt. No.
My aunt. My aunt. I don't know. I go back and forth because
We
you
say
can't
I
commit.
was born northern, but I
cannot
grew up
commit.
in
you
Florida.
Commit. You don't say
I
on the
say,
fence.
so Abby makes fun of me the way I say avocado.
Avocado,
She says avocado.
like with an A. I think it's avo. It's A-V-O.
Yeah. Ava.
Avocado. But I think everybody does say A-V-A. Avocado.
Ava.
Avocado.
Anyway.
Well, thank you, folks, for joining us.
Oh, you're there.
You're there. We forgot you were there. We forgot you were there.
Yeah.
If you're still with us, what are you
If you're
talking
still
about?
if you're still with us, how about we start with the bourbon we're drinking today?
Oh, let's do it. That's a pretty bottle.
So this is a beautiful bottle. This is local, friends. This is Three Crosses whiskey. It is from Powhatan. They are lovely, lovely people. I used to buy hand sanitizer from them during COVID. So they also distilled vodka. And so they switched it once COVID hit, and they started making hand sanitizer with their vodka. And they would sell the hand sanitizer, and
Yeah.
that kind of kept them going during COVID. But they do a lovely bourbon, and I ran into them. They had a booth at the Saturday before Valentine's Day. It was like wine, whiskey, and chocolate. It was down at Main Street Station. Fantastic. Tons of vendors, lots of booze, all, wineries and places all over the state of Virginia.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All the distilleries, chocolatiers, people making cupcakes, all that sort of thing. So I ran into them again, and I said, you know what? I've never really tasted your bourbon. I have done your vodka, but I've never. So I'm going to put you on the podcast. I'm going to tag you, and we're going to sip a
Yeah,
little
they're
of your bourbon.
super nice folks. They live in my neighborhood.
Do they really?
Yeah.
They're lovely. Just
Very lovely.
And
Yep.
they've added food, I believe, to their menu. They are expanding over there.
And their menu looks good. Like their food looks legit.
Yeah, because they used to have
Where are
food
they
trucks.
located?
Powhatan, like in this little town of, like if you go toward the government buildings.
Yeah. Man, that's out there.
Yeah, but it's a cute little shop.
Super cute.
Three Crosses, here's to you.
Here's to you.
Here's to you. I know you don't drink, but Not the bourbon, but I'll drink it for you. So let's give this a swig. Nothing like a sip of bourbon at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday morning.
Yep. Actually, you're past due.
Oh,
It's
20.
10:20.
So
that
that
is
is
good.
very, that's got a little bit of a bite on it, and it's a little on the cinnamon side. I like
Ooh,
that.
I love cinnamon.
That's lovely. So what do you want to talk about? You had some cool ideas, and I can fly with anything you want to talk about. But I think we were discussing about authenticity in real estate, and
Yeah.
how being inauthentic or being authentic.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking about it because, a lot of agents now depend on social media a lot for their marketing and for getting people to know who they are and introduce themselves. Right. And, on these social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, they have these filters on there that you can use. And I see agents who I know using those filters.
Correct.
And they don't even look like themselves
At all.
And I just want to say that, when you show up somewhere, somebody's expecting to
What they've seen on social media.
Right. And so, like, if you want to get a spray tan, if you want to get your eyebrows done, if you want, I'm all down with that, but that follows you, right? I mean,
Right.
When you get a spray tan and when you have your eyebrows done or your lips done or whatever, and then you show up to an appointment, you still look
You still look like you.
the same.
Yes.
But I think we do a bit of an injustice by not being it kind of, for me, and I know this is maybe a little bit deep, but it almost sets you up in the beginning that you are being
A little sketchy.
unauthentic. I think I don't love that.
This
I
is
don't
a
love
tough
that.
topic for me because what I do for the realtors, there's definitely a line that's being crossed like 1 foot over.
You mean in the photography?
And everything, video, everything. And so it's like the other day I was watching something on YouTube or short reels, and this person was talking about Tic Tac, and they made a video of a Tic Tac that they weren't all individual separate. They were like in little cases, but in the Tic Tac. So it's like, that shaky sound didn't happen. But then he counted the sides and it was a certain amount, but he said the wrong amount on purpose. Because on YouTube, when you comment things, your view count goes
So
up.
he was like, it's 10 in here, and everybody's like, no, it's 8.
Right.
And you're an idiot because it's 8. It's
But-
8.
but-
It's 8.
It caused
and so people
engagement.
kept commenting.
And then his view and everything, and he got the most, it just went skyrocketing just because
That's
of that.
interesting.
Yeah, so I come from it, and I made a post this morning on social media. I come at it from a more of a point of, women especially, but I know men do it as well. We put a filter on, and you're like, damn, okay, I see
Go,
you.
girl.
And then you take that filter off, and whether you realize it or not, you immediately feel badly about yourself and the way that you look. And
Actually, I think your picture without the filter is better than with the filter.
I got to see this. I didn't see this.
So on Facebook, and I did heart that because you with the filter wasn't you, because we lose the sweet freckles and all of the character. It just made you look plastic. And
But
I get the point what you're saying.
yeah,
I get what you're saying, but knowing you personally as I do, that's not the Susan I want to engage with.
right. But I think when you have kids, like I have a 17-year-old daughter,
Right.
and she comes in, she's like, Mom, look at my lips and my brow. And I was like, oh, yeah, no.
Yeah. You're not.
So again, I know this may be a little bit deep, a little bit heavy, but I think that, you lose that. You lose who you are when you start to embellish that a bit. So I don't know. I think if I were to show up to the door with that,
if you did a filter on all of your media and then showed up to the door without it, is what you're saying.
they wouldn't open the door.
They would.
They'd
well,
be like,
and
are
and
you?
Do you know how many people I see on signs, realtors, that I'm like,
that is not the same person.
that's 20,
Well,
30
listen,
years
that-
Right,
well,
that's your high school picture. And
I
you're
was
now
getting
84. So.
ready to say the same thing. I know so many people that it's like your business card photo was 20 years ago. All of your, profile pictures are from, and I think women are the worst at this. We just don't want to admit that we're aging. And I'm not, I'm like a Jamie Lee Curtis type of person. I don't care about getting older. It does not matter to me, because if I'm not getting older, that means I have died. And I am grateful just to get another day, right?
Yeah.
So I went to too many funerals in the last few years of young people in their 40s.
Yeah.
So getting older, if someone wants to take that as a negative, you need to readjust your thinking. But women are pressured, I think, through our culture that if we're not aging gracefully or looking, I don't want to look 20 again. I was an idiot at 20. I don't want to be 20 again.
Yeah. Well, and I was talking to another agent about this. You know Raven Sickle, who's
Adorable.
just bananas. Love her. But we were talking about the other day, I said, why do people say, and I've had people say to me, what I love is that you are unapologetically you. And I went,
I agree with that.
what the fuck? Why do I have to apologize for who I
I'm
am?
sorry. I took that wrong. I didn't mean to be. I'm like, you're who you are.
Yeah,
Yes.
but
That's what I meant.
why do we say you're unapologetically
Like you should be you should do. There's a precursor. All right, so here I'm going to bring the real me. Sorry, but here it comes.
Yeah, I'm
Right,
sorry. I
I'm-
misunderstood what you were
right?
saying.
I know, yeah. But you're apologizing for being yourself. Oh,
Right.
it's a back. Like, what are you? Why
It's
am I
totally
gonna,
backwards.
Right.
Is that an insecurity thing? When they,
I think you mean
When
to
I hear it,
say
but
that
you
word.
hear it
I
a
think it's just
lot.
a phrase. I think it's a common phrase that people will use. Or this is my
Yeah.
favorite. They'll talk, especially they'll talk about a lady or a woman. Well, she looks good for her age. Come again?
well, I mean, there's
I
people
think that
that
is the.
don't
It's
know
like
that.
saying, "You look wonderful," but anytime you put a "but" in between two
It negates
sentences,
what you
it
just
negates the positive you just created.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think to tell anyone, male or female, that they look good for their age, or they are doing well for their age, or they're still mobile. Stop.
It's still mobile.
You're still mobile.
Well, you're not in a
Baby,
wheelchair,
you gotta
so
be mobile for me. I just think you need to say, you look great. Period.
Regardless.
You look great.
do you think social media in the past 10 years or 15 years, where people can say whatever they want, now is transformed into now they can just be who they want to people and not be polite and courteous and in the real world? Like it's kind of blended the two together, because I feel like there's that going on a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Talk to me about that. What do you mean?
Like when people are hateful or
So they're keyboard warriors
yeah, but then that comes out now.
in person.
They're like, oh, I can be this way even in
Well,
person.
they've gotten some kind of
Validation of that.
sense of authority. Now I can be a douchebag in person, not only behind the screen. It's kind of like road rage.
Yeah.
Typically, someone who's fairly cowardly in real life gets behind a 3,000-pound car, and then they become Dale Earnhardt. You know what I mean? And they want to race you down and cut you off and all that kind of nonsense. But they would never confront you face to face.
Here's a little side note on that.
Oh,
Is it just me, or like if you're behind somebody that's really slow or cut you off, do you catch up to them and are like,
I'm looking at you.
I'm gonna
gonna
see
drive
what
past
you
you and
look like. Like, why?
I do the when I finally get to them, I'm like, who are you?
That's
like
what I
that's
mean. Like, we give them like the side eye. Like,
Like, I'm going to make you feel bad. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I just want to know. I'm like, okay, am I being too judgmental or like who's driving, and I'm like, oh, it's a little old lady getting her milk. Calm down. You'll be.
I will say this:
get out
I
of the
do
way.
have a theory on bad drivers, and I'm going to make some people mad. But if it's a Honda CRV, watch out.
It's a teacher.
It is. If a Honda CRV is on the road with you, keep your distance because they're going to cut you off.
Oh, I am not getting in this conversation. There's
Oh,
no
it's
way.
happening. It's happening.
I have my theory, but I'm not getting in it.
So just on a quick note quick thing for driving, Tesla, my Tesla is full self-driving. Okay,
Yeah.
from point A to point B, it will go.
Yeah.
Light, stop, everything. Right. When you're going, it's like driving with a 14-year-old driver, where I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then people are honking behind me because it's like not knowing like the direction of a split lane or something like that. It's like trying to decide which way to go. And
Man,
I'm like,
kudos
it
to
makes
you, but
me.
I am never getting in a car
it's-
that I don't drive.
It is most of the time highway and everything great, but it's just that little round
In-town
drive. It's little. It can be a little.
Not
It's getting
happening.
better and better. But in the beginning, a couple months ago, I was like, glasses on, sunglasses, don't know who I am, like, type of thing.
That's
It's a
now.
control
If you wanna meet Jesus personally, drive with her.
We've had a couple spin-off.
If you want to get close to your Savior, become a passenger in her car.
Have you driven a
Am I
Tesla
right?
before?
No.
Oh my! It's like rocket ship.
Now she's safe, but
Yeah.
it's like car stopping, car stops. It's car has stopped. It's like do 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 do.
She just uses her brakes.
And then this is a
I have
beautiful.
a lot of brake dust.
Then she goes. Jay is just amazed that I can make it from Richmond to Nags Head in under 3 hours.
Not anymore. He's not amazed anymore. But he
And I'm
will
like,
say,
and here
there's-
I am. I've got my hand on the handle up here. I've got the console.
So last time coming home, he did not feel well. He was laying in the back seat. Yeah. And he set up at the intersection of Courthouse and Hull.
Yeah.
And he kind of set up and he looked at the clock on my dashboard and he goes, "Did you just make it home in 2 hours and 37 minutes?" And I went, all day. I
Thank
did.
you for noticing.
Appreciate you from the back seat. No, I am a fast driver. Hands down. I mean, I'm probably the only person who's ever pulled themselves over. I saw a cop in my neighborhood, police officer. I passed him and I just pulled myself over because I knew he was going to get me.
Here we go.
So he says, "I've never had anyone pull themselves over." And I said, "I was just going to save you the lights and the trouble, but were you?" And he goes, "Absolutely. You were going 56 and a 25.
You said, that's what I thought.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm
That
not
felt-
going to argue with that. That's probably about
That feels pretty good to me. Yeah.
right. Yeah, that feels authentic.
I would appreciate you not giving me that, going to jail because I'm 20 miles over. But thank you, because they will take you to jail for stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Not only did he not take me to jail, but I didn't get a ticket.
Oh.
That's what I'm talking, Mama.
Help. Listen,
Sutton.
pulled
What were you
over.
wearing? Is what I want to know.
Over. What more do you
What
want?
were you wearing?
Are you a realtor?
Authentic.
How did we get off on that? Yeah, authentic.
Driving.
No, I mean, in the authenticity is not just in your photos and your social media. I think it carries over into who you are as a person. To be honest with you, I mean, I think it goes all the way through. And
Don't you think it also you can also tell by the company that you keep?
Absolutely. I think and you and I have had a lot of conversations together, and the company that you keep has a direct influence, I think, on not only your business, but your personal life and how you develop as a human being. Like that meme I sent you the other day. Man, that's you.
That's so sweet. Thank you.
I sent her this meme. I'd have to look it up to read it out to you, but it was just, she's the type of person who makes you want to be, she encourages you to be better. You know what I mean? And whatever it is you want to do. Because you don't care what it is someone does, just go do you.
Yeah. Do you show up as you?
Show up as you. So
But be the best of you.
that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Let's see that.
Because we only got one shot at this, you know. You're only getting one round of the bases. You better make it count, you know. So that being said, I've been with EXP 7 years now, something
Whoa.
like that.
Has it been that long?
That's a young time. That was my
I was
chair,
going to
by
say
the way.
5.
5. I'm going into my 6th year.
Okay.
This summer I'll be 6. But that being said, I just have decided, or through conversations with you and just sitting down and talking to me, myself, and Jesus, you know me, I talk to my boo every morning. I think it's time to spend time with really, really amazing people doing amazing things. And so I want to join your brokerage.
Wait, what?
I know. You
What?
thought I said it was coming out to Michael before we started rolling the camera, and he was like, you need to come out? What are you talking about?
Oh.
This is my coming out story. I'm going
You
to...
guys already planned, like...
Maybe. But anyway, I would be honored. It would be
I
a thrill.
would be honored to have you. There are people that you spend time with that you come away I always say it fills my tank. It fills my bucket. Because as many people think I'm an extrovert, but I'm not.
Yeah, me neither.
And so I get my bucket full from spending one-on-one time or in a small group of people that we can have interesting conversation, not necessarily agree, because we don't a lot of times, but as a respectful conversation, it is one that opens my eyes and my heart to things that I haven't considered.
Right.
And I feel like when we have those conversations, you and I have those conversations, and we spend time, that's how I feel. My bucket is full. My heart's full. And so I feel like that's who we are too at Open Gate. We are a group of supportive women at this point, all women who want each other to do well, want to explore conversation, want to help each other. And I think I cannot be more excited. I cannot be more humbled than to have you join our team.
I can't wait. I'm beside myself. I'm excited.
This is exciting news.
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
This
really
is like,
exciting.
was this a long time coming type of
Yeah,
thing,
it's a
or
very-
was it like kind of like
Well, and in all authenticity and truth,
Yeah.
Susan never, in her engagements with me, she engages with me as a person, as a friend. She's not recruiting me, and never has. You know what I mean? She
Yeah.
doesn't talk to me like, well, I've started this brokerage and I'd really like you to come over. Because we knew each other from Keller Williams. I mean, we've known each other for a good while.
Yeah.
A hot minute. And the beautiful thing about our relationship, it's not based on whether or not I come to her brokerage. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I have tons of friends not at my brokerage.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, some of my, we call them my work boos, and they are not, we're all at different brokerages.
Right.
And I think, it's not a good fit for everyone. Open Gate is not for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
It is a very close-knit culture. It is, we have a zero tolerance for drama and talking shit about people. Is just not gonna, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
doing it, not
Yeah.
having it.
Right.
And it's we're in tight quarters. We have nothing fancy. We have no fancy. We have an office, but it's not fancy. That's not what it's about.
Right.
At this point, I think maybe 10 years ago I would have decked that thing out and had something. It's just not what it's about for me anymore.
Yeah.
And so I am truly honored to have you as part of our crew.
Gosh, I can't say enough about the opportunity, because my question to her was, what kind of contribution can I make? You know what I mean? Because everybody wants to feel like they're contributing, especially in a smaller brokerage. You get kind of lost. I'm a little done with the big box. You know, the big brokerages, the massive, expansive brokerages and all this sort of thing. And there's nothing anti-EXP about this.
Yeah,
There's
no.
nothing anti-Keller Williams or anti any other broker. It's just I'm at the point in my career, in my life that I was telling someone recently, I want to spend my days with amazing people having wonderful adventures. That's personally, professionally, all the way around. And it takes a lot of... it changes your attitude when you get up every day, when you start thinking that way. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because I'm not production oriented as far as I got to make this much every year, or that's not who I am. I am relationship based. And like when we pulled into the parking lot, a client that I've had for years and years and years, sold them the house several years ago, was on the phone with me wanting me to come, she'll make dinner on Friday. She'll make dinner on Friday. Now that's a hell of a listing appointment, right? I'm gonna take a bottle of
appointment.
It's friends, it's people getting together,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna help her navigate a process of selling her home and getting herself into downsizing, right?
Yeah.
But she's like, "Do you eat salmon?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll bring a bottle of wine." And she says, "Well, I want to make dinner for you, and we'll talk."
Perfect.
That's how I want to do real estate,
Love that.
and with people like yourself.
Thank you.
I
Yeah.
don't want anyone to ever feel like a transaction, and I no longer want to feel like a number
Yeah.
in a big brokerage. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, Mama, if you'll have me,
Come on. Come on over to the dark side. Come on over to the dark side.
hey,
I love it.
I love it too.
We're so excited.
It's
We're really
it's gonna be
excited.
fun. It's gonna be fun. Michael is still trying to figure out what to say. He's like, "What the what?"
Like it's
No one tells you nothing, right?
no,
Is that what you know?
no. I'm in the dark.
Literally. You're in the dark over there. I feel like I'm on the sun right now.
Yeah, we're in the
God.
sun.
Now I know what it feels like when I get my Oscar or my Grammy one day. I'll be like,
You'll be like, "Okay."
I can't see any of you.
But
with the
thank you very
lights.
much.
But
Yeah,
thank you to the Academy.
congratulations.
Yeah.
This is like, I don't know.
I know.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Isn't that cool?
So yeah, it's pretty exciting. So
Yeah.
I can see it. I can definitely see down the pipeline of things to come.
Oh,
Thank
absolutely.
You. Yeah. It's fun. It's fun. It is, it is, I opened this brokerage and started it for a reason, and it's so fun to see it grow organically, and that's why it doesn't have my name on the door.
Yeah.
It used to be Susan Morris team, and that was when I was at Keller Williams, which I adore. I have nothing but love for KW. It was just time for a change in my business model, and I took me off of everything, and
Which I think
so cool.
is unusual.
That's how my business is. There's no name on it's Studio 77.
But when it comes to
But
real
in
estate,
real estate, it's
it
a
is
lot.
unusual.
yeah, no, it is. Yeah.
And it's not very common. I think it's classy and a smart business move, if you want my opinion. If you're ever looking, down the road, a lot of times realtors will sell their book of business or whatever. If it's got your name on it, it's kind of, I think it needs to be something that someone else can come in and assume and take over. But at the end of your career, we are such a ego-driven industry, which that's, when you talk about authenticity, it's the ego that I wish we could roll back a little bit.
Well, you think about it. Is there any other profession out there that they put their picture on their business cards?
How many attorneys do you know?
Doctors.
0. They just don't.
Actually, they should.
I don't think they should. And I don't think we should either. I mean,
I
when I
think-
redo my business cards, I'm not going to have a photo.
Yeah, it
on
doesn't have my picture on there.
I'm not going to have a photo. I'm not doing signs with photos anymore either.
I don't agree.
Because I have had
don't need
too
that.
many weird interactions when people see a sign with a picture and they call you. You know what I mean? When I say weird interactions,
Yeah.
dudes doing some odd things.
I apologized numerous times for that.
I thought I recognized your voice. I mean, you are a seeing man. I get it. Okay. But
I don't know how many times we have to go over this.
we have to, I'm
How
sorry.
many times do I have to apologize? My God.
It was one of those nights.
I don't think you. I don't. If you want to do research on me, that's totally fine.
Right.
Like I do research on my attorney, my doctor,
Yeah.
all of that. But I'm.
You're not going to make it easy on them to, it's just, well, I'll tell you what. Here's a correlation. When we go into a listing appointment, it's my goal, and I know it's yours, to depersonalize that house. I don't want pictures of your children, your diplomas. It's a safety thing, right? I want
Neutral ground.
I want neutral ground. I want the buyer to see themselves in your home, and I don't want a hallway full of your children and their pictures, because we can't always control who comes in your home, especially in an open house, right? It's the same thing. We need to depersonalize what we're doing in real estate, because it's not about me and you. It's about the client. It's about
their story.
It's their story. And that's why, what I call myself is Live Your Story Realty. It's about their story.
We're the guide.
Yeah.
Well, we're like a guide. You drop. We're like the Amazon rainforest guide.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to drop you in uncharted territory. We're going to help you get there, but this is your story.
Yeah.
So you know where it came up is I was showing a house, and there was a business card from a lovely agent that I know, older agent. The person, one of the people in the group, not my client, but one of the people in the group picked up her card and was like, damn, they still let old people do real estate? So,
first of all, that's a negative, has been created because of
right.
a photo.
But I can tell you, she's probably in the top 10 of agents.
Period. Right.
So it kind of,
It does take you
regardless
back.
of her, I was like, whoa, hey,
Yeah.
settle down.
Yeah.
She's like the best of the best.
Yeah.
And again, you don't know if that photo really is them. If it looks like them, right?
It could be an older
I mean,
picture.
I could be boppity boo all day, but I don't have these, right? I mean, I can throw on a Victoria's Secret and listen. If that's you, get after it. You do you. I'm just saying.
I have to
for
say,
me,
I do like me some Victoria's Secrets. I'm just putting it out there. I got a bunch of it.
and I think you do.
Michael I think he's turning red. For the Spotify people, Michael is turning red.
It's not a filter.
This is not a filter.
This is not a filter, ladies and gentlemen. But you don't know. That picture that you see on a sign
May or may not be current.
may or may not be current.
Most of the
and
time, it's not.
Yeah. But again, that's just me. That's just my opinion.
No, I think it's a great opinion. I think I am in the same category with you. We've talked about this many times. It's not only, attorneys and doctors and people of higher, levels do not have business cards with their photos on it. They also do not post on social media how much money they made last year, or how many people they saw, or how many divorces they worked with, or whatever. And I swear for Lord, any group, you'll get these like Home Snap or whatever, and they'll come up with these little, you're in the top 5% or you're in the top 10%. And sure as shit, the same one, they come out, look what I've just got an award for, I have never had a client, like the lady the sweet, precious angel who's going to make me dinner on Friday night, has never asked me, I hope you did good. How much you make last year? How many houses did you sell? They don't care, and they shouldn't care, and we should stop advertising that shit.
And put it in perspective too. Whether you I mean, I'm in the business, so it's hard for me, but if I were to ask somebody, hey, how many houses do you think an agent sells a year? People may say, I don't know, 40.
They don't have any idea.
They don't have any idea. So it's completely out of context. You are not supporting it with any context. Like if you want to say, hey, I am honored to be in the top 1%, meaning I sold 983 houses last year and the average agent sells 4. Give it some context at least. If you're going to put it out there.
Right.
What does that mean? Like, if you're gonna be a big deal, then be a big deal.
Oh,
but tell me why, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you were to say, Michael, like, hey, I shot 6 houses yesterday, I'd be like, okay.
Is that average? Is that
I'm not
good?
in your,
Is it-
I'm not
I
in
don't
your
know.
wheelhouse, so I don't know. You know,
Yeah.
maybe somebody only shoots 3 a day, or maybe somebody shoots 15. I don't know.
Right.
But if you're not in the circle, right? If that's not your wheelhouse, you don't.
Have any reference to
Right.
what's going on?
Yeah. Who cares?
So I think it's just I am personally introverted enough. I just don't think my clients care. I don't think it's good for our profession to, like when I was at Keller Williams, you know, they always put out those top 10 lists, and right as the rain, you know, agents would be posting that nonsense on Facebook. And I always said, listen, you'd better redact my name, because, you know, they would just take a screenshot. I'm like, and you and I were always on the top 10.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I don't
want that to be what leads my image. I don't want to lead with that. I want to lead with what's your story and how can I help you live that.
Yeah.
I want to help you plant your roots in the community that you want to be in. That's what I care about.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, the realtor in any community was literally the town mayor. You were on the school board. You were really a grassroots person. And only in the last, let's say, 20 plus years, especially since early, 2004, 5, 6, have we become these transaction people. I mean, I'm almost, it's off-putting to me, and I'm in the business.
Yeah, they kind of consider themselves like a celebrity. You know?
Their head.
In their head.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. That's amazing.
You know?
That's
Here's the only reason I say is because I see on the outside of all, you know what I'm saying? I have a good,
yeah, sure.
huge,
Of course you do.
so I can see the ins and outs of the good and bad and ugly from the outside,
Yeah.
you know? So it's hard because
Because
I
you're
can
exposed to
see,
so many of
but I
us.
can see on both sides, I can see how they would be that way, how they would feel.
Mm-hmm.
And then also what the expectation is these days, where you've got to showboat to get that
Right.
listing as much as you can. And it's a dog eat dog situation,
Sure.
you know, so they're going to do anything they can. You know, if the trend now is to dress up as a clown suit,
Right.
2% people would do it.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think the great thing about that is, though, if I go into a listing appointment and that is if I'm up against 5 people, 6 people, there's either going to be a chemistry there or it's
Or
not.
there's not.
And if it's not, then that's not my people. And I'm totally fine with that.
Well, all
yeah.
professions are like that. I mean, stockbrokers, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Well, whether you're in
it's
insurance
not-
sales or whatever, I mean, but what Susan says is so critical. It's I will compete for business, but to a certain extent. I mean, if we aren't going to connect, if there's no, we're not going to have a good mutual conversation about how to do this together, because we're in this together. I mean, that's when you're selling someone's home, it's even with the buyers. If I'm interviewing you as much as you're interviewing me
all day.
and if I smell in cooperation and unrealistic expectation, I'm like, you know what? Your house is not worth $50,000 more than you think it is. I appreciate the opportunity. The best of luck to you. And I'll wait the phone call when it sits on the market for 90 days and you get pissed. Okay, so
Yeah.
there you go. There you go. I mean, let's get real.
And can I take your dog with me?
And can I take your dog with me? Because
And
I'm
maybe a
usually in the
handful of
floor
chips.
with the dog or the kids. I walk in and I'm like, if there's an animal in the house, I'm going for the animal. And just ask me questions. And I'll talk to you about your house, your neighborhood, or whatever, but I'm playing with the furry,
Yeah.
And if you don't have an animal, my antenna's going to go up.
Uh-oh.
What's wrong with them? What's up?
I don't have an animal.
Yeah, but you got children,
You have
and they're
children.
just
They're
as
your animals.
precious.
Yeah.
They are animals.
And they're animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take it from me. I know. I have them.
Although,
And sometimes they smell like animals.
Yeah.
14-year-old boy.
Yeah.
after he plays baseball all day,
Yeah. Get in the car.
you cannot get that smell out of that car.
You
I'm
can't
sure.
unsmell that.
Yeah. But I will say this. I mean, when I went to feed Jeter not too long, a few weeks ago, I think in his eyes, he was like, take me home. take me home?
He probably was.
Because I took a bully stick with me, and so I go in through the garage and I get his food out, and as soon as he was like, hey, and we're talking a big hunk of dog. I mean, he's
100
broad.
pounds.
He's broad.
He's 100 pounds.
So I'm like, come here, boo, and he comes up and I was like, you want this? And he's like, he hops, he's hopping around.
He hops like a bunny.
He does. It's the funniest thing. And so I was like, does he need to go potty? And she goes, no, he has a doggy door. I'm like, there is no way. He is getting through that dog. She goes, you would be surprised. He just like shimmies right on through it. And he is the broadest lab you have ever seen in your life.
He has the most gorgeous face.
He does. But I do think he was going, come back again, boo. Don't leave me.
His pictures are at the beach.
The bitches are at the beach. And then I texted her. I was like, so should I go back again tomorrow? No. But I can go back.
I know.
Was there things that your kids said through the years when you were like, oh my gosh, they're this age or whatever. I can't believe these are. Owen said something the other day. I took him to Kohl's real quick to get something or return something, and we were going by the sunglasses, and he picked up the sunglasses, and he's walking with me, and he's like, and he's recognizing money and the cost of like $30. He said, he's like, $30. What do you think this is, Target? And he's 7.
Yeah.
Well, I just think they say funny shit at any age.
And that's the authenticity of children. They don't have the filter that we develop, right, through life. They just, whatever hits them. They're just going to, they make an observation and out it comes, which, to be honest with you, is lovely, regardless of what they say.
Yeah.
Because
that's why they say, out of the mouths of babes, like, no.
You know where you stand with the kid.
Oh, you've want an answer, and most 99% of the time, you will get the, like, there's no...
I'm not measuring what I should
say.
Yeah. Here it comes.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Here it comes. And I think we should do more of that. It's just that social media and all that stuff is, we have to temper ourselves, especially in real estate. But, I mean...
Yeah, I mean, I think Grayson was maybe 4 or something. And I said, these pants make my mama's fanny look big. And he goes... It's because you have a big fanny. I'm like, oh, and there's that.
And then there's always that possibility.
And then there's the truth.
And there it is. I was hedging for a compliment.
It's not the pants, it's your fanny. Just saying.
Love you, Mama. Make me that peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah, exactly. Kids are good.
Yeah, kids are amazing. But no, I think the conversation is absolutely appropriate. I think we're talking authenticity and being yourself, and it's not just being yourself as a realtor. I want everybody's, because I will tell you the relationships that work best for me in my life are where I'm just me and you're just you.
Yeah.
And we like each other regardless. I've got a sweet friend I've known forever. Her baby is getting married in May, and I remember sitting at the kitchen table 20 years ago, and the kids were little, and I said something to the effect of, I don't want you to see all my lumps and bumps and my warts, because if you find out who I really am, you really won't like me as much. And she goes, it's the lumps and bumps and the warts that make me love you even more.
Yeah.
And that changed my thinking. You know what I mean? Just that one, and that's a very kind thing to say. But that's the truth. Because your ride or dies, the people who are really authentically into you and you're into them, and you go through really difficult times in your life with.
Yeah. Yeah. I call them my Mexican prison friends.
Yeah. They really have seen the warts and the bruises and the bumps. I know Michael's about to lose his shit. Mm-hmm.
That's what I call them. But I will tell you this too. If you're not my people, that's okay. I don't wish you any harm if you're not my people. You just can't stay here.
Yeah, right. You don't have to go home, but you ain't hanging out here.
Right.
You're not having tacos.
Right.
With us.
You can drink wine. It's just not gonna be mine. So it's I'm okay with but I think we need to do that, right?
Well, I'm trying to get in the cool circle. I just can't get in there.
Yo, you're in the cool circle.
You're in the cool circle.
You're in the you can.
You're in somebody's cool circle.
Maybe not ours.
But stop trying to be everything to everybody.
Right.
Fuck.
Right.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Stop doing
I love
that.
it. I love it.
Because you can't be. You can't be everybody's thing to every. So you do you, and your tribe will come to you.
I have a hard time saying no to people. Like when it comes to my clients and things going
I
on
used
or
to.
whatever, I have a really, really hard time not trying to make it happen.
Right. I think
saying?
that will come for you. I think your survival as a man, as a parent, as a business owner, as a husband will demand it. Because at some point you just have to say, these are my limitations. I mean, you have a business model, and that's what we discuss when we sit down with anybody. My business model is, Sundays are for two things: Jesus and football.
Yeah, but
And you're not part of that
But
situation.
I always want people to know that I 100% always try to make sure I'm there for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, or for their, like, not to drop the ball when it comes to, because it's their business too, and I want to respect them. So, like, if Susan asked me to do something, like, I'm going to make sure I try to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's last minute.
I like that about you, Michael, but I would counsel you to, if it didn't fit into your business model and the ability you to be a husband and a dad and all of that, that's where you say no.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. I have a hard time
You know what I mean?
saying no.
As much as I love that, I think it also, when you say no, it also is saying to me, you know what? I got a boundary right here, and I can't meet your boundary today. I can't meet your boundary at 2:00 because you called me at 1:30.
Yeah.
I think also too, we make a big habit of saying, I can't because, or no, because the answer is no.
And you don't have to give an explanation why.
Yeah.
And I think too, people will also be like, I can call him, but I mean, he's got family time or he's got whatever. It also makes people respect those boundaries a little bit more of,
Yep.
I'll call Michael, he'll do it for me. Is like,
I had a client the other day. I didn't pick up the phone, on the second ring because I was filming or something like that. And I usually say, call you right back or whatever. And I got sidetracked and I didn't do it until I was 30 minutes in or 40 minutes in, finally getting back to him. And he goes, man, you never, I was worried about you. I was like, oh my gosh,
Because
is that
you've
bad?
set that expectation.
Is that
Yeah.
bad?
Okay, you've set an expectation
Yeah.
that now you can't maintain that expectation. Do you know what I mean? So I just spent 10 lovely days in Hawaii.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
It was fabulous. But the point I want to make about that is a dear person to me said, you're not taking your laptop. You're not doing business. You are going to send an email to everybody. You're going to tell them what's going on, that you're 5 hours behind and you'll be back on XYZ date, all that sort of thing. And I did take his advice. I had a wonderful time. And the very few times that clients that are in active situations reached out, it was always an email saying, I know you're on vacation. Don't address this right now. We just wanted to put it out there. This is what we're thinking. And when you get back, we'll talk to you.
Oh,
then."
that's torture. I would still I'd rather just be cut off. Nothing. I would think about it 24/7.
What is wrong with that? They were respecting my
agree.
boundary.
Yeah, I know, but it's
because I
still-
set that boundary.
I was just like,
I have never been gone that
You
long.
need some counseling.
You need some counseling, right? Or to drink. I think you have to set your boundaries. Like Susan is saying, people will respect them if you give them the opportunity. And the ones that refuse need to be dropped.
yeah.
Period. And then you will create a tribe of people who will respect your boundaries and who will work within the bounds of your business. Because remember, it's your business.
And it will suffer at home.
Yeah.
Yes.
Listen, don't piss those people off.
Yeah.
Because once your clients get pissed because you couldn't do something on a Sunday, you look around and everybody's gone to dinner. I mean, that's what happened to somebody one time. I heard a story.
You heard a
once.
story?
Yeah.
And
everybody was gone, and this person had to eat by themselves because they weren't in tune to what was going on.
Lesson learned.
Big lesson learned.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Of you say you do what you do for us, but we never see you.
Yeah.
That'll sting.
That hurt my feelings.
That'll sting.
That hurt my feelings a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, no. And it was true.
That hurts a mama's heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I had a few moments similar to that, like if we're out to dinner or something and constantly looking at my phone or stepping out to talk to somebody and the kids are like, are you ever going to be with us? Okay, fair enough.
And once your kiddos get older, you'll know, like, when I take Grayson to school in the morning, he's 14. And so when he gets in the car, he used to, like, get his phone out. Very first thing, get his phone out. And I'm like, are you checking on your corporation this morning or your clients? He's like, what do you mean? I went, exactly. Put your phone away. You and I have time. 15 minutes in the car every morning, you and I. That's all we get.
Yeah.
Put your phone away. I don't have mine out, and I'm running a business.
Right. So here we go.
Let's talk. What do you want to talk about? He's like, so now he doesn't get his phone out. And that shows to me that he is engaging with me.
Right.
And they pick up on that. you
Well,
know?
they emulate, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think you will, saying no is very freeing.
Oh, God. It's wonderful.
And not with and not having like a, hey, I'd love to come, but, nah, I'm not coming.
Yeah. I just hate disappointing people. That's all. That just comes down to it. I hate disappointing people.
Yeah, but I don't think saying no disappoints people. I think you're looking at it a little bit askew.
Are you disappointing yourself?
Oh, all the time.
Well, then maybe let's reverse it.
Yeah.
Back
all.
up and reverse it.
Has this been one for the books? This has been one for the books.
Big news, deep talk.
Big news, deep talking, business planning, being authentic,
GIF versus a GIF.
Victoria's Secrets.
Buck naked versus
Buck naked.
butt naked.
I probably have an addiction to Victoria. I mean, I will say I've probably too much, but yeah.
Meh. Again, you do you.
You do you, because, it's all good.
Yeah.
I want them to do them too. I want the folks in the audience. I want the Spotify people, the YouTube people. You don't have to be in real estate or photography or whatever. Everybody needs to be authentic in their own world with themselves. I don't care.
Show up as you.
That's
Show
the
up
title,
as you.
babe. Show up as you.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to call this. Show up as you, my sweet lovelies. We can't wait to see you again next time. I appreciate you. I
Love it.
Hug.
Mwah. We love this. Love you guys.
Next time you see anything about me, I'm with Open Gate Realty. Bada bing, bada boom.
Live like someone left the gate open.
Drive it like you rented the car.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
You've been listening to the Real Estate and Bourbon podcast hosted by Dawn Roy. Have real estate or bourbon questions or a juicy story you want us to talk about? Call our hotline at 804-293-0550 and maybe you can be on our podcast. This has been a Studio 77 production. Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow the Real Estate and Bourbon podcast.